Hello and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Liberty with the older brother Kelton here. As you may notice, there's no bells sounding in this one, no special, any cue cards or anything like that, or map page. That's because I'm doing it for my phone and not the computer, and I really don't feel like doing all that editing on my phone with a small screen. And also, there's some issues with my computers which will be resolved shortly. But as they say, the show must go on, and I did not want to hold off to get on this topic any longer. But it's about three candidates, well, particularly one candidate, running in the Republican primary as South Carolina State Education Superintendent. Now, in the past, I've done different local things that has nothing to do with national. I'm doing South Carolina mainly because, one, I live in the state of South Carolina. Two, we got to let everybody know who the RINOs are, running as Republicans but are really Democrats. Now, with that being said, the three candidates are Kathy Maness, Dr. Kizzy Gibson, and Ellen Weaver. Now, the one I will be focusing on today will be Kathy Maness. She running for the Republican primary in June of South Carolina to represent the Republican in the main election in November. She currently is a town council member of Lexington City. She is the executive director of Palmetto State Teachers Association. And from November 2020 to November 2021, she was elected and served as the president of the National League of Cities. Now, does this make her a RINO? Those titles, no. But what does make her a RINO? With all the speculation I have, let's see. There have been pictures of her with the former Democrat mayor of Columbia, Steve Benjamin. Pictures of her at the signing of the infrastructure bill next with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden at the White House. And Nancy Pelosi gave her praise on a Zoom meeting for the National League of Cities. Does that make her a RINO? Not enough evidence there. But let's see. Here where it gets interesting. In February 2021, she advocated for teachers to be part of Phase 1 in the vaccine rollout, saying it's for their safety. Now, is she for a vaccine mandate for the schools or for your children? Who knows? She's not saying one way or the other. There's also tweets that she shared about from other teachers and other people saying teachers need to be protected and need to have the vaccine accessible to them when it was first rolling out before it was accessible to everybody. In September 2021, she stated that local governments should decide if mask mandates should be enforced in the school, and the state should not prohibit schools from enforcing mask mandates. Now, she said the local communities. Now, Governor McMaster in South Carolina wanted the parents to decide whether their child should wear a mask or not. And she's saying no. The parents shouldn't decide. It should be the local school district. Now, however, in her speech when she announced that she was going to run for the coveted position of superintendent of South Carolina, she stated parents should have a choice in what happened in their kids in their school. Why is all of a sudden now she's backtracking? Maybe because she wants that vote from the parents and she knows that if she said that she in favor of mask mandates, they won't vote for her? Who knows? But let's go on, shall we? Her other resume, she was president of the National League of Cities. And when you do some research on that, you'll realize it is left-leaning and critical of the Republican Party despite being nonpartisan. The National League of Cities advocates for left-to-center gun control measures, criticized conservative policies, especially relating to immigration restriction in response to the pandemic. Also opposed a balanced budget amendment to the United States Constitution. Now, these are cities who are proposing that you shouldn't make a budget. Are they going to run the cities in the ground? Who knows? And mind you, she was elected president of this organization. It's left-leaning why would they elect if it's left leaning with their left leaning views? Why would they elect someone who doesn't have the same views as someone on the left? By the way, this group, the League of Cities, also advocated for policies and resolutions left leaning that was not related to city and local governance, which is what that group was made for. And it's a nonprofit group, but yet it spent more money on advocating things instead of research or anything else, even though it's supposedly nonprofit. So, that leads you to believe, where does she stand? She was the president of this group for a year, which means she was advocating those left-leaning policies. But yet, she claims to be a Republican. She claims she's for parents' choice. What kind of choice would they have if she is elected? Who knows? Just remember, people elected Hitler because he looked like a good guy. But hey, history repeats itself unless people are there to step up to stop it. And I'm warning everybody now with all this stuff in my hand. And now as far as policies in Lexington, people in Lexington would have to tell me about that, because I never lived in the city of Lexington, although I did live in Lexington County, but that's not the same. So out of her years and years of service since 2004, what kind of policies did she vote for that might have been left-leaning in Lexington? Who knows? But hey, there's rhinos always in the mist, and we have to call them out, and I'm calling this one out. And if you have a difference of opinion, especially if you're from the state of South Carolina, or if you agree with me, leave a comment. Like, share, subscribe. As I always say, we're on Rumble, Twitter, I'm sorry, not Twitter, Parler, YouTube, Facebook, and Telegram. And if you have any topics you'd like us to discuss, or any ideas you have, or any things you want shouted out, or just want to contact me for any reason, or my brother, Brothers of Liberty 76@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. And once again, this is the older brother of Liberty, and I'm always here to remind you what true freedom is and ought to be.